did notice that as a shift in myself when I asked that question.
I want you to watch out for yourself getting, it sounds to me like you're getting hooked in a little bit, like you're getting fascinated. And I want you to watch out for your own fascinations. Like I've noticed you use the language, I want to know more about this. And so you can lose touch of serving your client's big A by your own fascination.
Got it. But then
and
I
you need
get
to make sure
mixed up with,
it's in service of what the little a was or the big A, either one of those.
I get that mixed up with curiosity.
That's interesting. Yeah. As long as there's a part of you that's watching the whole process, even yourself get fascinated or your own kind of curiosity about something that showed up, and you're going to and you display that to the client. For instance, you could say, because you're like you want to hold the whole coaching session, so you can say, listen, we were just in this place where there was all this rich energy. I'm noticing for me as your coach, I'm getting like really fascinated about what you got going on with other people, and that this is showing up in other areas of your life. Like, so where are you wanting to go, client, from here? You want to like check out more of your creative stuff, or like how you can manifest that, or do you want to look into this kind of like, you know, this interesting stuff about other people and stuff? So that way you're kind of seeing it, once again, it's the big picture of the global thing, and once again putting it in the client's lap to make the decision.
Right.
So you want to go ahead and articulate that somehow?
Well, I was noticing that I was getting fascinated by, and perhaps confusing that with curiosity when I was asking you about do other people matter, about that question. And I also noticed that it took away from the high energy of discussing creativity. And I guess I'd like to ask you which way you'd like to go.
Beautiful. Beautifully stated. And then once again, it's not, you don't have to, you're honoring yourself in a coactive way as the coach, saying what's going on with you, your kind of own fascination, and at the same time, the bigger picture as well. So
and maybe the fascination actually puts a distance to it.
What do you mean?
Well, when you name it as fascination, you're then aware you're doing it, and then you don't have to be hooked by it.
Yes, exactly. You always want to try to be like radically objective of even yourself. Like the truth is, you're just an instrument for me as the client.
Sure.
When I'm coaching someone, all I am is a literal mirror, and I'm using all of my faculties, my mind, my emotions, my body, as a gauge for the client, and to mirror them back onto themselves and to deepen their experience of themselves.
Right.
And so, so when you get hooked, you lose touch with being a complete mirror, or the best instrument you can be for the client. So for you to for you to push back and objectify even your own experience with language like, here's what I'm noticing about me, client. I'm really hooked into wanting to know what's running you in regards to other people. Like, and yet I know that you were just really on fire about the creative thing. Like, so which way do you want to go? You know, which is really powerful, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You stated, by the way, you articulated it beautifully. So something I want you to pull back often in the coaching session.
Got it.
And just take a look at where everything is, like in regards to like how you're serving the client's whole life, and objectifying yourself as the instrument in the process.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm fascinated by that too. So let's go ahead and follow that. Go ahead and give me a question in regards to the other people. I think you did create a question before, but if you could articulate it again.
Question about other people?
Yeah, like how other people play into the picture, like the thing that you're fascinated by as well. Let's create a question about that to kind of expand that.
Well, I was listening to what you were saying in terms of that it doesn't matter what other people think, and that has something to do with your own self-esteem in some way.
Yeah, self-authority, just a willingness to say what I like and like it.
Right.
I don't want chocolate. I want vanilla. I know everyone else in the room likes chocolate. I like vanilla,
Right. And then I'm hearing in your voice a kind of defiance about that.
Yeah. Well, it's really easy to go with the pack, and just to bend the will of the masses or other people, and it feels essential for a person's humanity to know what they think.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, and know what they want, and to define these things so that, and not, you know, in a healthy way. A healthy way to do that. Not just a rebellion, but, you know, like, not being in a state of reaction, but proaction and creativity. Like, wow, yeah, this is what I want.
Good. So you want to really move forward on that rather than being caught up by other people.
Yes.
And yet that the other thing I hear about that question is, though, that you're caught up with, well, then do people matter?
Yeah, exactly. Or how do people matter? Or, like, how do they register? Or, like, what's the...
Right, and what's important to them, about them in your work?
Exactly.
And how you bring them in and how you do your ping-ping?
Exactly. And I think that's the truth of the matter right there, or that's the essence of it, is I really, really want ping-ping. I feel like I know how to make what I want.
Good.
So, yeah, but I don't know. I don't know if I know how to make ping-ping.
Well,
and here the confusion comes in here. It's like, well, just make what you want and find out if it's ping-ping or not. You know, like your job, my job, and this is where maybe I get confused, is to make ping. That is my job. And if it turns out that ping-ping comes out of it, then fantastic.
Right.
If not, better I live a life of ping than I live a life of
no
pong. No ping and no ping-ping, you know?
Right.
I would be appalled at making, you know, like a pop song everyone loves that I don't like.
Right.
I mean, that's business, you know? I don't give a shit about business. I'm not interested. I don't want business getting its dirty fingers into my creative process, you know what I mean?
Yep. And do you sometimes see the people, when you say they don't matter, as being the ones with the dirty fingers?
Well, no, it's more my own, like, it's not that other people have the dirty fingers. It's just kind of a certain type of energy that works its way into my creative process.
Right.
So I feel like when I'm drawing, it's like boom, boom, boom. Like, it goes so fast that there isn't room for the dirty fingers, basically. Good. And when I make music, the dirty fingers creep in there. There's a lot more deliberation and a lot more time for, I never articulated this before, but there's a lot more time for other energies to start working their way in.
Uh-huh. What kind of energy?
Well, you know, that dirty finger energy, like, wow, I wonder if this person would like this. Or, I wonder, you know, people aren't going to think that sound is so, you know, other people start becoming a consideration. And I want them out of there. You know, like, I don't want them to be a consideration.
And yet
when I'm making music.
You want them to be, in that you want ping-ping as well.
Yeah. So, I mean, but the most important thing is that I'm able to get ping in regards to music. So I guess to say it in the simplest way, I want to be able to make music where I'm not considering other people.
Got it.
And I want it to be awesome to me, full on, without just, you know, with no compromise. You know, it's not open for discussion about whether it's good or not, and then see what happens out there. Next, if ping-ping occurs, fantastic. But I don't want to think about business and my music. They muddle each other. They don't work together for me.
Mm-hmm.
It muddles my creative process. It never muddles my drawing process, ever. I never, when I draw, and I'm not sure what makes these different, but when I draw, I never consider other people, nor am I concerned about what people think on any level.
Wow,
and
your
I make
music must be really important, huh?
I'm sorry, what?
Your music must be really important.
Yeah, I'm not. That's interesting. I don't know. So let's pause. Yeah. So yeah, you want to articulate? You have. What do you think? Sound like you have an opinion.
Well, I was hearing that you're totally at ease with your ping, with your art.
Yeah.
And you're not with your music.
Right.
So it seems to me that that's a very, very rich place to develop.
Yes, absolutely.
And that's what makes it so important.
Yes.
It feels like there's just an enormous amount of creativity tied up in that universe the universes that you want to create, the celestial music you're talking about.
Right. Yeah, it feels like the infiltration of my concern for other people's opinions is messing with my extraterrestrial music. You know,
yep.
Like the pure expression of my extraterrestrial music, you know.
That's what I'm hearing, too.
Yeah.